Grand evening. Hi, my name is Leonard Munson, the psychic astrologer. My website is readingsbyleonardtmunson.net. The weekly overview, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, from June the 5th to the 12th, 2025. Let's talk about finances and money. It's Cancer, your solar sun is in the 12th house. The 12th house is Pisces. It's a house of intuitiveness, psychic ability, imagination, illusion, fantasy, deception, fear, doubts. Its ruling planet is Neptune. Neptune is in Aries. So there's a change that's going on. It's no longer available for you to talk about it. There needs to be action in your areas of finances and money. The sun in Gemini, which deals with all forms of communication, transportation, technology, mechanical things, short distance traveling, siblings, writing, speaking, publishing. It deals with all forms of education. It also deals with mechanical things. It deals with investigation, research, and advertisement. So there's a change here that you need to stop advertising what you're going to do. Just do it and keep it to yourself. With the moon in Libra, Cancer represents there needs to be a balance. You're not doing the work that you need to do to change your financial and money situation. Some of you will get a second job. Some of you are working on a side hustle too. We have Mercury in Gemini. Some of you need to go back to school or to enhance in a new career direction that has to do with building your skills up so you can make more money, Cancer. Now, this could be something you might be working at home, and you might be taking another job as far as that. Venus in Aries deals with work, finances. Some of you will get a raise. Some of you are going to get a promotion. But you've got to take action. If you don't take action, you've got to do the work to change the stagnation that you are in connected with finances and money. Mars and Leo. Mars is the planet of bigger force that drives the passion, the energy, the sensuality, the war, the aggression. You got to do something to change this, and this could be connected with self-expression, children, matters of the heart, legal situation, arts, and entertainment. Jupiter in Gemini, opportunity for expansion and growth. Abundance, blessing, karma is happening, Cancer, but you've got to pick the one that's going to have longevity. Saturn in Aries, that old foundation about finances, money is no longer existing. So you're building a new foundation, open-minded, and thinking outside the box. Uranus in Taurus, some of you are having issues that is very chaotic and upheaval, and you want out of it. So you're going to make change in your finances and money. Pluto in Aquarius is retrograde. When a planet is retrograde and it's moving back, it's reviewing when it's going direct. It represents rebirth, change, technology. So some of you are going to go into a career that has something to do with technology. It's going to give you more money. The North Node in Pisces, get out of that fantasy illusion. Get into the reality and get out of that fear. There needs to be a change. Lilith in Scorpio, if you're having to share resources, you need to get on board with your boat, going to pool your resources and have something. If you don't, it's not going to be work. You got to get into that Chiron in Aries, that wounded warrior, that scarcity mindset. Get into abundance and a survival mindset, Cancer. The next sign is Scorpio. Scorpio, your solar sun, is in the 8th house, which is you. The 8th house represents abundance, prosperity, infinity, strength, success, intimacy, share resources, death and resurrection, rising from the ashes, and transformation and change. The 8th house ruling planet is Pluto, which is in Aquarius. Rebirth, transformation, and change, and is moving backwards. So you're reviewing the changes that you need to make when it's going direct, have to do with your finances and money and making correction. With the sun in Gemini, you need to communicate what you want, not just using your intelligence to achieve a better financial stability, but you got to be creative. With the moon in Libra, Scorpio, you need to balance this stuff out. And also, the 8th house is also ruled by Mars, and Mars is in Leo. So you got to take your energy, your vigor, your force, and drive to see where you need to do things in your finances and money to come out of the red and back into the black. Venus is in Aries. No more playing around. It's time for action. Mercury in Gemini. You need to communicate what you need to do. Jupiter in Gemini. Opportunity for expansion, growth, abundance, blessing. It's happening, but you got to pick the right opportunity that's going to grow. Saturn in Aries. You got to take that old way of thinking about finances and money and think in a more positive way and a way that you have an open-minded and think outside the box. Some of you are in a chaotic situation about money and finance. You got to find where you need to make these changes in. Neptune in Aries. Get out of that illusion, fantasy, head in the cloud, rose-colored glasses, fear, doubt. Step out on faith. The North Node in Pisces, again, that fear, that fantasy, and this illusion about your rose-colored glasses. You need to get into reality of what you need to make the changes in your finances and money. Side hustles, a second job. Living in Scorpio, anybody that's you're pulling your resources, they're not doing it, you need to get them out of your way because they're hindering you back. Chiron in Aries, stop being the wounded warrior, get out of that scarcity mindset and get into an abundant mindset. You already have this abundant. You have it. This is what you need to think about. All right, the final sign is Pisces. Pisces, your solar sun is in the 4th house. The 4th house is Cancer. It's a house of intuitiveness, psychic ability, the house of foundation, home, family, security, and women. And its ruling planet is the moon. So the moon represents releasing, things coming to a head. What was held from you about your finances and money is being exposed. With the sun in Gemini, you need to use your intelligence and not your emotion to move forward in your finances and money. There needs to be a balance with the moon in Libra. What is draining you and pulling you on one side, and you need to bring that back up and have a balance and find the middle ground in your finances and money. A side hustle, a second job. Mercury in Gemini, transportation, communication, siblings, short distance traveling, anything mechanical, investigation, research, publishing, writing, speaking, etc. Venus in Aries, it's time for action. No more talking. Mars in Leo, it's time to take that energy and move forward to get out of debt and put yourself on a better financial grounding. Saturn in Aries, that old foundation about finances is wiped it out. So you have to build on a new foundation, be open-minded, and see the big picture and think outside the box. Uranus and Taurus, some of you are in a chaotic situation that other people are causing, that you need to say no, set boundaries, and put yourself before there and can come out of this and you have freedom and independence financially. Neptune Aries, illusion, fantasy, rose-colored glasses, head in the cloud, etc. Okay? Action. The North Node in Pisces. These are lessons that you need to learn in this lifetime and get out of that illusion and fantasy and see the reality. Pluto in Aquarius, death, change, transformation. When a planet is moving backwards, it's reviewing when it was going direct, and you need to make those corrections about finances and money now. Liveth in Scorpio, if you're in a shared relationship, share resources, and if it's not working, you need to eliminate what is no longer serving your highest good. Chiron and Aries, stop being the wounded warrior. Stop having that scarcity mindset about finances. Be a survivor and have abundant finance. You have abundance already. You got to think that you have it, Pisces. It's not that you got to chase it, that you have it already. It's the way you think.